Let's now take you to the Eastern Cape, where the Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality has lost out on 430 million rand in grants due to underspending. The municipality is known for its political instability, which has caused major service delivery concerns. Newzroom Afrika Kema joins us from the Airport Valley, an informal settlement in Walmer in Gqeberha, an area that would have benefited hugely from these funds. Sipha now joining us live. Sipha, good morning. Thank you so much for making time for us. So I understand that Newzroom Afrika visited this specific township back in 2021. What has changed, if anything at all?
Absolutely nothing, Aldrin. As you mentioned, we, Newzroom Afrika, were here in October, 29th of October 2021, reporting the same issues that I'm about to tell you again. Now, you've mentioned that the Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality lost out worth a total of 430 million rand in financial aid by National Treasury, which is a huge concern, Aldrin, as you'd know that various parts of the Nelson Mandela Bay could have benefited from those funds. Now, of course, talking about Airport Valley, one of the major issues that has been happening in Airport Valley since it started in inception of this informal settlement in 2004 was the issue of housing, Aldrin. Now, the municipality is the implementing agency in this project where phase 1 has already started. Now, they started building these houses in about 2015, 2016, Aldrin, and they've only just built the first phase of this pilot project. So no more than over 200 houses have been built since that time. Now I'm going to also show you other concerns around this informal settlement that maybe changes, or those monies could have actually assisted. Is one of the stories that we focused on when we were here was the electricity. Now most of the residents here are getting their electricity supply, raw electricity, Aldrin, no transformer to actually convert it right from the substation, which is a major concern. Several people have died because of this. And as you can see, the live wires crossing over in various parts of the streets and going into houses. But the most concerning is where it is allocated, where it's actually a bit wet there. So you can imagine, and we know that in some cases they do cross over this field to get into the informal settlement. Now, where those aids could have assisted really would be the housing and also getting toilets. As you know, informal settlements are supposed to also get at least the mobile toilets that will actually assist and service different households within the informal settlements. But we have been told by some of the community members that things have actually gotten worse from the last time that we visited. If you can see that the area is a mess, there's no refuse of collection, no cleanup of the area as well, which is a major concern for the children who actually play close to this area and actually live in this informal settlement. Now, we were told by some of these community members that because there are no toilets, that some of the community members or residents rather, they relieve themselves in this field that actually leads up to the airport. It's right next door to the airport. This is the area that they use to relieve themselves, especially now. Well, it's a concern for women and children who have to go at night into this area in the open field to use as a form of relief. But we're going to talk to one of the community members here, Qolatwati. I mean, he's someone that knows a lot about some of the projects that were supposed to have started here, such as the housing project, the electrification project or pilot project that was also started in 2016, electrifying a certain informal area. But the issue is that this informal area grows. It's also grown from the last time that we were here. It expands, so the municipality has a bit of an issue there with ensuring that they electrify these houses. Hence, we're seeing some of the households here using raw electricity straight from the substation to electrify their houses. Let's talk to a community member just to tell us more about this. Ubunosixelela kuqala ngemeko yokuhlala yalapha apha ePort Valley.
Imeko yona imeko yokuhlala ewe right, but ayomeko yokuba singaphila nabantwana sikhulisa abantwana kuyo, because kuyizitrato ezingade zakhiwe apha for iminyaka emininzi. Kukho ii-toilets ezisebenzisa i-bucket system, and loo nto leyo yinto ekudala isenzeka. Dala sayicela into yoba sincedwe ngendaba ye-bucket system, but ayenzeki loo nto leyo. And now toilets are flooding, and then abantu abangoosisi bangena apha ebusuku, and omnye wabo uphantsi kwareyitshwa ke ngoku apha kwalapha ezintsukwini. And then loo nto leyo still affecta thina abantu bokuhlala, because laa mntu ngumama omnye umntana, and then kungenzeka nantoni nako uyashiya umntana wakhe. Let alone uba abantwana bayazisebenzisa ezi toilet, and then still ezi toilets nazo zigcwele. Ingawish bungabona ibhakethi linjani. Yabo? Okay, fine, still. Indaba ze-housing nento understanding ncam ke zona ke andifuni uzithetha ncam because zidip.
Utheni ungafuni uthetha kuba ubuthetha kuthi ubusithi ngu-phase 1 ngoku?
Kaloku indaba yazo inzima yasokolisa ne-political phakathi ne-politics andizingeni. So andonqena uba inside.
Kodwa ke u-phase 1 uqalile, kukho abantu abahlalayo ku-phase 1.
Kukho abantu abahlalayo, bakhona abantu abahlalayo already phaa.
Nanithenjisiwe uba u-phase 2 uzawuqala nini?
Hey, God, I think i-due date yaloo nto leyo yadlula, and then now still kusekho abantu abangakafumani ezi zindlu bekusuppose bazifumene. And yet still loo nto ibisandoqatshelwa ngumntu othize, and then wayikhalazela, and then there were journalists involved, nazo zabethwa kwathini. So ngoku laa nto leyana yaenda phi into engathi deep phakathi. So
all right, again, thank you. Just Aldrin, to summarize what he's saying, of course, talking about the major issues here, housing being one of them, saying that he doesn't want to really get into it much, saying that it's really political, really. It seems as though he doesn't want to really involve himself in that conversation regarding the housing. But phase 1 has started. People have moved in. Phase 1 was actually built in 2015, 2016, as we mentioned, but still waiting for the second phase. And also one of the major issues is not having ablution facilities and sanitation in this area, telling us that women and children actually have to go into the field to relieve themselves, and that a woman was almost raped here just a few days ago, of course, going into that field, which is a problem. And as you can imagine, informal settlements do have a lot of crime, as we've seen with experience and as we've reported as well.
Yeah, Sipha, just quickly before I let you go, what's the explanation then from the Eastern Cape government around why this money isn't being spent? Because Zolile Williams, the MEC for Cooperative Governance, revealed earlier this year that around 2.2 billion rand had not been spent since June of 2019. So why is this money not being spent, which means that it's an ongoing trend?
It's an ongoing trend, Aldrin. Every financial year, the Eastern Cape, especially the departments that need those funds, actually, Treasury ends up taking back the funds. Talking about that, Aldrin, I mean, just last year, we know that the Department of Health also lost out on grants. As you know, that the Eastern Cape Health Department needs those funds. Also, Education Department also had a bit of a problem there as well. Now, with this municipality specifically, we have mentioned the issues of political instability that have been affecting the administration. That is one of the reasons why there is underspending here, because most of the attention goes to the political issues at play, where we've seen even the current mayor, Gary van Niekerk, has actually survived 2 motions of no confidence. Every month, every year, there is a motion of no confidence against an executive mayor, which then changes the administration. Whether it is a political change, that means the administration itself has to change, which is an issue because then people need services, hence the underspending, and hence why they've had to give money back to National Treasury. And also, besides sending money back to National Treasury, some of these grants were actually cut from the Nelson Mandela Bay. So you can imagine what that issue looks like. And I mean, we've seen areas such as Airport Valley, but not just Airport Valley. Different parts of the Nelson Mandela Bay are suffering because of these issues. Coalition governments that fall apart and collapse. I mean, since 2016, Aldrin, this has been happening in the Nelson Mandela Bay, has not found any form of stability.